Hi, you're welcome to my YouTube channel, and my name is Martin Imabifa. If you're already a part of the family, thanks for watching again. If this is your first time here, it's good to have you. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to see more of my videos on technology and startup updates. Now into the gist for today. Southeast Asia funding decline. So here's the scoop on the Southeast Asian startup scene in the first half of 2023. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. According to the fancy Southeast Asia report from Temasek and Bain & Company, these startups hit a major bump in the road when it came to getting that sweet cash. In fact, it dropped to its lowest level in 6 whole years. This funding funk didn't spare anyone, from the little baby startups just starting out to the biggest players. Investors were apparently having a tougher time parting with their money, and they weren't as picky either. It seems like they went about doing their homework and had an indifferent attitude towards exit strategies. But it's not all doom and gloom. The digital economy in Southeast Asia is still on the up and up, raking in a cool $100 billion in 2023. It's just that the future isn't looking quite as rosy as they thought. They had to adjust their estimate for 2025 down from $330 billion to $295 billion. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but they are still trucking along. Apple's success in India. Apple totally killed it in India last quarter. They shipped over 2.5 million iPhones, which is like a massive 34% jump compared to last year. And guess what? The iPhone 14 was a big part of that, making up more than a third of those shipments. It's all because people in India are loving those fancy high-end smartphones these days. And it looks like Apple's gonna keep crushing it, with their market share expected to go from 4.5% in 2022 to 6% in 2023, beating the rest of the smartphone market for sure. Call for openness in AI development. Over 70 brainiacs in the AI world got together at the AI Safety Summit in the UK. And guess what they were all about? They were like, hey folks, we need to be super open when we're cooking up AI stuff. They are banging the drum for openness, transparency, and making sure everyone and their grandma can get their hands on AI systems. Why? Well, it's all about preventing problems now and in the future. Now there's this ongoing debate, kind of like a never-ending ping-pong match, about whether AI should be open source or kept secret in the vault. They are worried that if just a few big shots hold all the cards, it could be trouble. Big names like Yann LeCun and Andrew Ng are saying, let's open up the playbook, let people do their own research, and make it easy for anyone to dive into the AI game. It's all about being fair and square in the AI arena. Flexport acquires Convoy Technology. Flexport, a supply chain logistics platform, has acquired select assets from Convoy, a digital freight network. This acquisition is aimed at reviving Convoy's trucking logistics services for customers, but does not involve taking over Convoy's entire business or its liabilities. As part of the deal, Flexport intends to retain a core group of product and engineering team members from Convoy. Although the specific terms of the acquisition were not disclosed, it is seen as a strategic move to enhance Flexport's capabilities as a comprehensive logistics solution provider. They plan to leverage Convoy's technology to expand their range of trucking services for customers. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty. Alright, check this out. Sam Bankman-Fried, the dude behind the FTX and Alameda research, is in some seriously deep trouble. He's been hit with a guilty verdict on all 7 counts, and it's all about shady stuff like fraud and money laundering. But here's the scoop. Apparently, he cooked up a sneaky plan to siphon off billions of dollars from customers and pull the wool over investors' eyes so they couldn't see. The mess began when they discovered some major issues with Alameda's financial records, and it looks like he might have made off with a cool $8 billion of customers' hard-earned cash. Now he's staring down the barrel of a potential 115-year prison sentence. This is no joke. It's a pretty grim situation. Ford shuts down Viser. So Ford pulled the plug on Viser, which was this software as a service thing, helping tradespeople with their scheduling, their invoicing, and keeping tabs on customers. Why? Well, turns out not enough folks were interested, and there was a ton of competition in the field service management game. At first, Viser was like its own thing with Ford as the big boss and Salesforce chipping in dough. It still didn't fly. But don't worry, Ford Pro, their commercial vehicle and service gig, is still gunning for that juicy $45 billion revenue target. So they are not throwing in the towel completely. Roli introduces Seaboard Block M. Roli went through a bit of a rough patch and did a makeover in 2021. Now they've dropped something called the Seaboard Block M. This little gizmo is all about spreading Roli's cool MPE and 5D touch music tech to more folks, shaking up how music is made. What's neat is that it's a budget-friendly MIDI thing, only $350 compared to the Seaboard Rise, which costs a cool $1,400. It's got some user-friendly tricks up its sleeve, so even newbies and pros can have a blast with it. Plus, it's got a battery that goes on, and it can connect with your devices via Bluetooth. Rock on! Labor disputes threaten Tesla in Sweden. Here's the deal. Swedish labor unions aren't too happy with Tesla. They're saying, hey, if you don't play ball with our repair shop workers, we're going to put the brakes on Tesla deliveries starting November 7th. This whole mess started because Tesla wouldn't sign on the dotted line for a collective agreement with their repair shop crew. In Sweden, those agreements are a big deal. They cover everything from pay and pensions to working conditions and perks. Now, this fight could throw a wrench in Tesla's work in Sweden, which is a pretty important market for them in Europe. It's like a shutdown over there. Anyways, SpaceX Starling achieves break-even cash flow. Now, I'm super excited about this. Guess what? Elon Musk just spilled the beans that SpaceX Starling is now bringing in as much cash as it's shelling out. That's a big win for them and means they are standing on their own 2 feet financially. Starlink's been growing like crazy, rolling in about 2 million subscribers from all sorts of places. And now, folks are buzzing about the chance of SpaceX taking Starlink public with an IPO, just like Musk hinted at before. It's like the next big thing in the tech world. NuSkin 22's debut fund closes at $205 million. NuSkin 22, this venture capital outfit that's all about Africa, just hit it big. They closed their very first fund and pulled in a whopping $205 million, way more than they first aimed for. That's brilliant. What's cool is that they got a big chunk of that dough, like 59%, from a gang of 30 global unicorn founders. It's like these big short investors are showing more love for African startups. NuSkin 22's thing is tossing their cash into Series A and B deals in stuff like fintech, edtech, medtech, and solutions that help Africa in a good way. They want to help companies spread their wings across borders and build these big, fancy multi-country businesses all over Africa. It's exciting times for the African startup scene. Berlin-based startup GlassFlow raises $1.1 million. GlassFlow in Berlin is all about helping out the folks dealing with event-driven data pipelines. They just scored a sweet $1.1 million in pre-seed funding to keep things rolling. Even though their solution is in MVP mode, they've got the thumbs up from data experts at Zatu, Gogox, and Hitachi. So they're not just winging it. They are going to use that cash to beef up their product and hire more team members. These event-driven data pipelines might not be your usual dream at all, but they are crucial for making everything run smoothly. They are like the behind-the-scenes heroes that keep things flexible and scalable. The old-school tools can be a real pain to learn and maintain, so GlassFlow is here to make life easier. Now that's it for today. We'll see you in our next video. Thank you.